All right, it's time for Scribe School, the letter Nun. Grab your pen and your notebook and let's practice some Hebrew. Shalom, welcome to Scribe School. Today we're going to look at the letter Nun. The letter Nun, it sounds like the letter N, and there's two forms. Just like with some other letters we've seen, there's a final form. The Nun in the simple block script looks just like that. It's like a little leg with a foot at the end, a little hook to the left at the bottom, and it goes the full height of the lined paper. So it's the character is a full line. And when I'm getting real sloppy and I'm writing too quickly, sometimes I just go like that, like a little hook. It's mostly supposed to be vertical line, of course. Now, the Sophite form, so the Nun Sophite, well, here's a regular Nun. Again, you can do more specific foot like that or a little bend like I'm doing. It's just a vertical line, but it goes below, it extends below the line. And this is really crazy because now we know three letters that really you could just do with a vertical line. Yod, Vav, and Nun. Just like that. If you wanted to. Now, the way I'm encouraging you to learn the Yod is more of a hook like that. But you can just do a vertical line if you like that covers the top half of the character height, the full character height. The Vav, of course, goes all the way. And now we're learning a Nun and a Nun Sophite. And it makes the letter N. So to review the letters that we have now that have these final forms, let's change color here. We have Kaf and Kaf Sophite. Remember that? Then we have Mem and Mem Sophite. And now we have Nun and Nun Sophite. Let's do some purple, maybe bigger. Here we go. Let's try this. So Nun, like that, and a Nun Sophite. A Kaf and a Kaf Sophite. A Mem and a Mem Sophite. So one more time, let's change to even another, let's go to red. We have Kaf and Kaf Sophite. We have Mem and Mem Sophite. Now we have Nun and Nun Sophite. There you go. So if we practice our whole alphabet now, let's erase those. I'm going to make my pen a little smaller here, and we'll go back to, we'll do light blue. I like light blue. Aleph, there's our Aleph. Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun. Now, with Kaf, though, I have my Kaf Sophite, my Mem Sophite, and my Nun Sophite. So there's all the forms we've learned right there. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun. And then, of course, our three final forms, Kaf Sophite, Mem Sophite, and now today, Nun Sophite. Excellent. So I hope you're practicing these. We're going to look at some manuscripts now. Remember, we want to get used to looking at these manuscripts. First, we're going to go all the way back in time to 2nd century BC, and we're going to look at this great Isaiah scroll in this wonderful high-res image for us. And this is the beginning of Isaiah, Chazon Yeshayahu ben Amoz, the vision of Isaiah, son of Amoz. Now notice the word vision here is Chet Zion, Vav, and then Nun. It's a Nun Sophit. Isaiah, and then Ben. That's son of. So see, it's a bet, and then see the Nun goes down. So you can see the Nun Sophit here, how the tail goes way down. And the word Ben, bet, Nun, goes way down. But we can also see, for example, here's the word Banim. Banim gadalti, I have raised sons, says the Lord. See, it's bet and then a Nun. It's that angle. It's like a vertical line with a little foot. So here in the late 2nd century BC, so around 125, we already have a scribal convention where the mem and the mem sophit are differentiated, as well as the nun and the nun sophit. Now we're going to look at the Washington Pentateuch. We've looked at this passage before, specifically with the Lamids. I think we looked at this one. We're going to look at it again. This is Genesis 14, Melchizedek speaking to Avraham, Vayomer, Baruch. See, there's a nice, see our Baruch here, there's a nice Kaf Sophit. Baruch, Avram, there's a Mem Sophit. La'el, to God, Elyon. Elyon. So you see right here in Elyon, we see our 3 letters next to each other. The Yod, which is the shortest. The Vav, which is the pretty much the full height. And then the Nun, which extends below. Yod, Vav, Nun. So that's the end of Elyon. Elyon, that name of God. Elyon, the Most High, is usually how that's translated. And then Melchizedek says, Koneh Shamayim Va'aretz. That's possessor of heaven and earth, or creator of heaven and earth. Koneh, Kuf we haven't learned yet, but see this middle letter here? That's a Nun. See, it's got a nice little head, vertical line, and then a foot going to the left. Koneh, and then a He. N. So here we see the Nun Sophit with Elyon. It looks like it's like a Vav or a Zion with an extended tail is all. Elyon. And then here's a regular Nun, Koneh, that little letter there. So back to our drawing board here. We see the Nun at Qumran looked like this. And then in the final form, it kind of went like that. So we're not doing that for our style. So that's kind of the Great Isaiah Scroll style. What we see in the Masoretic, the Tiberian tradition, we see it has a nice head and goes like this. And then we see its final form going like this. So there you have it. We go through the letter alphabet one more time here. Let's do that. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zion, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun. And then we can go back and do our Kaf Sophit, our Mem Sophit, and now today our Nun Sophit. There you go. These are all the letters we've learned. So continue to practice, and we're pretty soon going to get to a place where we can start really looking at vocab words that will help us exercise and master all these different letters that we're learning. So stick with it. Keep copying these letters over and over and over again. Memorize their names. Be able to visually identify them, but also be able to reproduce them from memory. Keep at it. Shalom.